The man who couldn't taste sweetness. How do you fall in love with someone you were never supposed to like? When my mom's bakery almost went bankrupt, her business partner offered a solution. His son, quiet, terrifyingly polite, and allergic to sugar, would marry me to keep the brand alive. It wasn't romantic, it was logistics. A legal contract, one cake shop saved, and one awkward wedding photo where I blinked the entire time. We didn't even kiss. He shook my hand like we'd just closed a deal, which technically we had. The first few months were painfully polite. He labeled the fridge shelves, his name, my name. Even the butter had a custody schedule. He'd knock before entering his own kitchen. I'd text him, "Good morning," from the next room so I wouldn't have to say it out loud. The silence was comfortable, though. Predictable. Safe. Until one day I came home early and found him in the bakery. Flour everywhere. A beginner's cake decorating book open in front of him, upside down. He froze like a kid caught stealing cookies. "I was just trying to understand your world," he said. I laughed so hard I cried. He smiled like it was the first time he'd been allowed to. After that, things shifted. He started walking me home from work for safety. I started making him sugar-free cupcakes he always pretended to like. We learned each other's small habits. He hums when he's nervous. I talk to ovens when I'm stressed. Then one night, there was a blackout. We lit candles, and for the first time, we really talked. He told me he never wanted an arranged marriage, but didn't want to see me lose my dream. I told him I thought he hated me. He whispered, "I didn't know how to talk to someone I wanted to stay." Something in my chest cracked open. He wasn't cold. He was scared. And maybe so was I. After that night, he stopped knocking before entering the kitchen. He'd leave sticky notes on the fridge like, "Don't forget breakfast," or "Your favorite muffins are cooling." One morning, I found a note that just said, "You make this place smell like home." I stared at it for so long, I burned a whole batch of cookies. By month 6, our business arrangement didn't feel like business anymore. He came to the bakery early, rolled dough beside me, and hummed while I tried not to stare at his hands. We started sharing little things, playlists, recipes, inside jokes. He'd pretend to hate sugar, but I once caught him stealing a bite of frosting and looking guilty about it. I didn't say anything, just handed him a spoon. Our families thought we were still pretending. Maybe we were, at first, but somewhere between fake smiles and real burnt cupcakes, we forgot how to fake it. 6 months later, the bakery was thriving again. The contract was set to end. My mom asked when I'd be moving out. I said soon, but I didn't mean it. He came home one evening holding 2 mugs of tea and asked quietly, "Do we still have to end this?" I looked at him, the man who once labeled the butter and thought love was a business deal, and said, "I don't think I want to." He smiled, small and shy, and said, "Good, because I renewed our lease." We never had a dramatic confession. No big movie kiss, just quiet moments that added up to something real. He still labels things in the fridge, but now the butter says ours. He still doesn't like sugar, but every morning he takes a bite of my cake, grimaces, and says, "Perfect." And every time I fall a little more in love with the man who can't taste sweetness, but somehow made my whole life feel like it. Our marriage started as a contract. Now it's a recipe. A slow mix of patience, timing, and a pinch of courage. Love doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it just sounds like a spoon stirring coffee and a quiet voice saying, "You're home."